All right, welcome to Whyspace.
Hey, y'all.
Happy New Week.
Happy New Week, guys.
This is the what? Are we starting the 7th week of the NFL?
We are. So we finished. So we're recording this on Monday. So tonight is the last game of week 6 for NFL. So we are going into the 7th week.
So that means we're like more than halfway, right?
I thought that was 18 games.
Yeah, I forget that we keep adding every year.
Yeah. But we're still, we're in there. It's February. It's October, guys.
This is October. Okay, so we're smashing
time zones and months. I don't even know where February came from
today. Well, we feel great about the football weekend though, because our Chiefs, they won the bye week.
They did. Look at them.
Yeah. We won the bye week. Nobody was arrested that we've heard yet.
That's true.
Nobody,
or injured.
Yeah, that we've heard. Rasheed's already in rehab for his knee. Trav was in New York.
He was.
The rumors were potentially he was doing a little filming for Happy Gilmore. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like it possibly was true based on some pictures we saw. But I told Becca at the beginning of the weekend, here's what I really need. I just need a picture of Blake and Ryan, Travis and Taylor going out. And what did I get, Becca?
You did. And you got it.
I got it. And it did make me very happy. And then Trav and Taylor, it looked like went out again, maybe by themselves. I don't know. But hey, the hair looked better.
The second outing, yes.
Yeah. Becca's still really loving Travis's hair right now.
I don't know what beef he's got with his hair, but I need it solved. And also his style. God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Travis.
I think even I have hit a point now with the Easter egging with outfits that I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm done, but I'm kind of like, can we just get to the point? Or
see, I think that's my thing. If you Easter egg so much for so long, like it doesn't matter anymore. Now we're just out.
And I kind of think maybe she's like, hey, I'm just wearing clothes. I'm not Easter egging.
I've always thought that. So
and then we'll say all this, and then she'll launch the Miami shows this week, and there'll be like 48 announcements. And
I think she's got an outfit that's like black. And then she's like, I really like this. I look good in it. We're going out. And then she's like, oh, black reputation. People get a kick out of this. And then she goes about her day.
And then we've spiraled already.
Yeah.
But she does
break down.
Luckily, I guess, for the folks in Miami, it appears that Hurricane Milton was pretty easy on them, thankfully.
Yes.
And so the Miami shows are kicking off this week, and this is the last leg. And it's
crazy.
It's weird. But yeah, here we are.
The Eras Tour has been part of our lives for like the last 2 years.
It's like a really pivotal part of our lives. I still don't know if I'm going to get to go to the New Orleans show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate about the ticket prices right now. I don't know if you know, but they're like enough to buy like 3 houses. And so
it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll just watch the live stream.
I know, and I know I should be okay with it, and I know I've already seen it twice, but I really think I need to see TTPD live. I think so. I mean,
unless Tree Payne is paying for my ticket and flight, I'll have to watch it from a grainy screen.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We don't have a ton of Taylor talk this week because it was a bye week. We did get some great pictures in New York. But next week we'll be back with Eras Tour news. Maybe there will be announcements. I don't know. But we do have a wee bit of entertainment news, not a ton. But our favorite new show, Nobody Wants This, confirmed season 2.
Which last week when we had recorded was the first time we talked about it. And at that time, it had not been announced that season 2 would be picked up. And now it is.
Now, I don't know exactly what this means, but I saw that the headline was that it was picked up for season 2 with new showrunners. Remind me what a showrunner does?
That's actually a great question.
Okay, so we don't know, confirmed.
Is a person who manages and oversees the creative and writing aspects of a television series. I feel like maybe we don't. Why are we messing up a good thing?
Is Aaron Foster saying, like, I kind of already told y'all my story. What do you want now? I don't know. That makes me nervous.
There was a clip of her and her sister. They have a podcast. I don't know the name of it. Honestly, didn't know that they had one.
The first daughter, the good daughter, something about a daughter.
Okay. And on it, she had mentioned like the pressure that comes with season 2 because season 2 was so successful. And she said, but honestly, like, don't mess up a good thing. Don't mess up the formula. So that's interesting that maybe there's a new showrunner. I wonder if maybe they're just adding in extra people.
Oh, I'm nervous now because, man, the writing was so good. That was like one of the best parts. I mean,
I think they just kept it so basic and relatable. They didn't try and do any huge arcs or anything. Okay, well, this will be interesting now. I'm still going to watch it because season 1 was so good.
I mean, I'm in. I was going to update you on Grotesquerie.
Yes.
As you're still not watching, and for sure.
No.
Trust me, every week.
How many episodes this is going to be?
I don't. And I don't really understand why every week we get 2. I mean, I'm not complaining because they feel very short. But yeah, we get 2 every week. I don't know. There may be an answer to that too. We feel very prepared for today's episode, clearly. So Travis was not in the 2 episodes that came out this week. This was episodes 5 and 6. In the previews for this week, he is in them. So I'm ready for that. But I do think his story takes a weird turn based on the previews. So we'll have to see what I come back with. We had some more murders. Shocker.
Okay.
Some more blood. This time there was actually blood. And Niecy Nash still. I don't like every award that is possible for a TV show. I am nominating personally Niecy Nash. She is so dang good. This role was like made for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like a lot of things are starting to get revealed. And so I'm guessing based on someone that was murdered in this episode, we could be close to at least one part of the story ending. So I don't know. But no Trav this week, definitely in the upcoming episodes.
Which it would make sense to maybe not put him in all of them, but keep dragging his part out because you know that a lot of people are watching the show just because they want to see Trav.
I haven't gone to look at like the viewer numbers, but it's got to be like astronomical.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's much better than it would have been if they had picked some other random Joe.
At least, listen, if I'm Niecy, I am so thankful because she's having a performance of a lifetime and people are watching. So
heck yeah. Good on them.
Yeah. I don't know. Other than that, I don't really have any other entertainment news. No music. I saw Olivia Rodrigo fell through the stage.
I saw that.
Gotta watch that. That's gotta be careful.
That's
nothing else though.
Just in general.
Yeah, just
because now the rest of your life is you're on a stage. Every step you take, I'd be like, is there
a stage under me? Yeah.
Right.
I'm not what do they call her people? Livy's or whatever, but I still don't want to see her get hurt. I mean, that's scary.
No.
But where we lack in entertainment news this week, we have a bountiful amount of football news.
Holy moly.
So this episode
2024 is wild.
2024 in general, the whole year, just pretty much every headline I send Becca, we're like, oh, of course. Why? I mean,
right. It's just not shocking anymore.
Like, Anna Wintour was in Joe Burrow's suite at the Bengals game. Sure.
Why not? Why not?
Of course. That was my next guess. I mean, that's what I would have thought too.
Where else would she have been?
I mean, her and her little Bob.
I'm gonna be honest. When you sent that to me, I thought, where do I think that Anna Wintour spends her days? Because I just assume she's either on a red carpet or in her office. Like, I don't.
Well,
she doesn't. She's an actual human. So then I'm like, what? Does she go to dinner? Like, does she do takeout? Does she hang out with friends?
Well, it doesn't look as if she eats a ton.
No.
I'm assuming, though, that she went because, it has been confirmed we're getting The Devil Wears Prada 2, and maybe they need some more content.
Possibly. Okay, I could like that storyline.
Wouldn't that be a weird storyline if, like, her assistant ends up falling in love with an NFL quarterback or something?
Okay.
Could be onto something here. I really feel like I have found my stride, really, with the entertainment. Yeah, we'll see. We have a recasting question.
Dude.
They are coming in a plentiful amount now as well. People need to calm down. The one for today, I'm still not confident on, but anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some football, though. That I am a lot more confident about. Let's see how we did, first of all. We last week predicted the 49ers at the Seahawks. I tried to explain to you that playing in Seattle is difficult.
You did.
Did you watch the game? Let's start there.
Yes, I did watch this game.
Okay, I did not get to see the game. I've seen a lot of highlights. It seems like Brock Purdy is finding himself. I mean, but I still what I still am wondering, if I own the 49ers, am I curious as to why I spent all that money on Brandon Ayuk?
I think it would at least be a question you should ask yourself. Because did I need to?
No touchdowns still for him.
I mean, he's really not producing.
No, Debo had a big one. And then George Kittle, who George Kittle's wife she's maybe not my favorite, but I do kind of like George Kittle.
I like George, yeah.
And he got 2, so I was happy for that. And then Kyle.
Juszczyk.
Thank you. And we both loved that they jumped into the front row, kind of Lambeau leap style to their wives. I thought that was so cute.
Those suites are so cool that they're right there at the end zone.
I know. We've talked about this, though, that I don't know how I feel about it, but that was fun.
I like it for a family member sitting in there. I think for the average fan that maybe could potentially throw some things towards players, it feels a little too close and a little too unsafe. Yeah. But I think if you used it for family members and business partners, whatever, I think that might be okay. I don't know. It was really fun that they could just run right up because they're just used to, they're all up in the suites or up in the, bleachers. Yeah. So that was really fun to see.
I thought it was, from what I've read, it seems like it was a good game for the 49ers in that they didn't have any turnovers. Now, the Seahawks, not awesome, but still scored 24 points.
Yeah. I'm not really totally sure how that happened. Okay. It was Gino's birthday. So
happy B-Day.
Yeah, it was what he wanted. Yeah. I will say he seemed frustrated the whole game. And it was almost like he couldn't get out of his own head and just get over that. He kept side-eyeing somebody on the sidelines. I don't know if it was a coach. I don't know what was going on, but it was evident throughout the whole game. And I was like, what are we dealing with here? Because they just could not get outside of themselves to just play football. So they did that one.
Well, I've not heard anything. I have read rumors that DK Metcalf is obviously not happy. And I mean, I could see that, but I don't know. I thought it was weird back in the origin stories of Geno Smith that he became the starting quarterback for the Seahawks after kind of being, bouncing around and being back up. But they've ridden it hard. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, again, it's with some of these quarterbacks that they're got their second wind or they're up and coming. They had a couple of good games and Geno's still a good quarterback.
Yeah. I mean,
he's just not maybe what you guys are playing him up to be.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the 49ers are pretty banged up. I mean, McCaffrey sounds like they're eyeing week 10 as long as everything continues to go, which prayers for your feet, but I'm real happy you're not coming back this week.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for sitting out. Sounds like your backup, Jordan Mason, who was doing real good. Sounds like he's banged up again. He was banged up, came back, banged up again. So, thoughts and prayers to you and your family, but I'm happy that you're out. So
take all the time you need to heal. Sir.
Yeah. Make sure you're really fully healed. Because the Chiefs do play the 49ers this coming week.
Yes.
I don't feel great about it because it's in San Francisco. Tom Brady's calling the game. I don't feel great about that.
You don't love it.
But that does, though, mean that Aaron Andrews will be there, right?
I believe so.
Because, that's a package deal. If you have Brady, you get Aaron. So I'm real happy about that part. We will not have Taylor, so y'all go ahead and calm down. She will not be there. They did not break up. She's in Miami, opposite coast. Calm down.
Listen, Mandy says that, but she's saying it just as much for her own benefit.
She did fly across the world for the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. It could happen.
They're in love.
They're in love. It can happen. All right, let's talk about the Browns versus the Eagles.
Listen.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Let me start with Nick Sirianni's haircut. How do you feel about that?
Listen, what are we doing, boys? In the NFL this season, did we all fire our barber? Are they on strike? I don't know what's happening. Are we trying to like midlife crisis here?
I don't
Did you
know.
You're so much in the hot seat that you're like, let me give them something different to talk about. I don't.
And then you show up to your press conference with your toddler in your lap.
Your human shield that you use
that
you
was
have to answer hard questions.
I didn't think I could dislike him more, and then I found myself disliking him more. I didn't know it was possible, but here I am.
Yep. Did you watch the game?
I watched a good chunk of it. The Eagles ended up winning. And honestly, again, I don't know how. I mean,
4 points.
Yeah. In Philadelphia. Like,
yeah.
What are we doing? And thank God Devonta and AJ Brown were back because those were the two ones.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett blocked a field goal, and their defense picked it up and scored. Now, the Eagles came out real banged up, though, from this game. Dallas Goedert is out now with a hamstring. Jordan Mailata, or however you say his name, he's out with a hamstring. And Darius Slay is out now with a knee injury. Was it worth it, fellas?
Those are some big names.
Yeah. I mean, for a team already struggling.
Yeah. I think it should be more worrisome after this. Did you get a win? Yes. At the end of the day, you want the win.
Yeah.
However, with it being so close against a team like the Browns, what?
And here's the thing. If I'm the Browns, I mean, again, back to being deplorable. It sucks for them because, like, last year, Joe Flacco gave them a little life, and you're like, maybe the Browns are back. But then you got rid of Joe Flacco, and you're riding hard for Deshaun Watson. If I'm Jameis Winston, I'm like, listen, I may have stolen some crab legs as a teenager, but put me in the game, coach. Like,
I do wonder why they're not benching Deshaun. Fake an injury. Like, if you're trying to save his pride, fake an injury. That's what we've done for Russell Wilson.
I mean, exactly. The whole thing, I just don't understand. Like, Hollywood needs me for my casting abilities, but I really feel like the NFL's needing me too. It's just a lot of things going on. But yeah, that game couldn't have been more boring, in my opinion.
No. And then you've got Nick chirping at your own fans.
Yeah.
Listen, on the human side, I understand. All these people are saying that you shouldn't have a job. Are they right?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
However, like, maybe instead of chirping at the fans and looking like a fool when you guys barely pulled out a win, maybe we just focus and let our work speak for us. Because does he call the plays? Is he the play caller?
Yeah, I can't remember. Like,
I feel like he is.
I feel like that was one of the big things that, like, people were hoping when they went and got Kellen Mond to be the offensive coordinator. They were hoping that he would start play calling, but he's not.
Yeah, I think that maybe we transition to Kellen and give it a shot. Why not?
I just don't understand these teams that are either squeaking by or not winning, why they won't at least try something different.
Or Jalen's the one that calls it at the huddle. Maybe call something different.
Well, listen, I know that he said that which I thought were very odd statements that he made, that he and Nick had some good moments together during the bye week. I thought that was real odd, but also confirmed our theories that there was a lot of beef there.
Yeah.
But I thought his comments were weird, but also a way of saying, like, hey, we got along fine, but he still sucks.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, which,
yeah,
I concur.
I don't often think that if you get rid of a head coach, that's going to solve your problems. But I do in this case. I think.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting rid of head coaches, I guess we'll see tonight if that cures all the woes for the Jets.
Yes. I'll be interested to see how
Jets and the Bills. Like, probably not your best option of opponents for your first game without a head coach. I don't know if that's going to give us a really clear picture, but I think we'll just continue to see a bombed out and depleted Aaron Rodgers.
So. Yeah.
which I'm good with.
Because
So
how strong is your defense if your defense coach is now the head coach? So is like he's spread thin now.
yeah, and you weren't doing awesome to begin with. So
I mean, you were better than the offense. So
well, I mean, there's always that. There's always that.
It will be interesting to see how they come. Do they come out and like try to prove that Salah was the problem, and so they play a little bit harder? Or do you come out thinking like, oh, problem solved, we got rid of him, so we're good to go and we change it?
I don't think there's anyone in that game tonight who wants to prove more that Salah was the problem than Aaron Rodgers.
100%.
He's going to come out, but he's also, let's keep in mind, he's banged up. Remember that last game? He got kind of banged up, and he's 900 years old. As I can say, since I think I'm the exact same age. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to want to come out like guns blazing. And I think the Bills defense is going to need to be like tearing him alive.
Which coming out guns blazing for Aaron Rodgers means he wants to make him pass impressive throws. You need to utilize your run game. He's got to stop trying to throw every single time because your O-line can't hold that long.
Well, and Breece Hall, like he has a really good running back.
Use him.
I
does utilize him in some
ways.
Well.
So I need him to do something. I forget which team it is, but
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches that probably should have been fired this morning, the Lions went to Dallas and beat the Cowboys 47-9 on Jerry Jones' 82nd birthday.
I don't know that Dan Campbell could have given the Jones a better birthday gift than what he did him last night.
So I did not either remember or know the lore that Dan Campbell played for the Cowboys for a few seasons. I don't think I knew, and I didn't know that there was beef.
No, but I don't know if he was like or traded or. Listen,
I do know now, though. I am fully aware.
I mean, when they started doing some of those plays, trying to get their O-line some like. Oh my God. You're just at this point, that's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. I died when he was lining up offense. When he had multiple offensive linemen checking in at receiver, I was like, this is the greatest moment in history.
So fun. It was so fun.
Loved it. Yeah, they humiliated them. Now they suffered a massive loss though in this game with Aiden Hutchinson's leg becoming more like a piece of silly string. If you have a weak stomach, do not watch this replay.
No.
But the second that thing wobbled off of his other lineman's leg, I said, oh, we're done.
They replayed it once, I think, on TV because they didn't realize the extent. And I immediately, every time I was just, I can't do it.
It was all over Twitter, and I was like, sweating in the back of my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. He already had surgery in Dallas, has to wait a day or two to fly back. But, God, that is a massive blow. I mean,
it's a hit to them. I think they'll all step up.
Yeah.
And kind of cover that gap that they're going to have. But, man, what a tough one.
Now, listen, was that an impressive game? Yes, for sure. An impressive game. Jared Goff threw 3 touchdowns. David Montgomery ran 2 in. Sam Laporta finally got a touchdown on a trick play. Thank God.
Yeah.
And Dallas had 5 turnovers. And Dak threw 2 interceptions. So, I mean, like on the outset, you're like, okay, this was the Lions I was expecting.
Right.
But then I have to temper my opinion and remember they were playing the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys have never been like the worst team in the league. We've never said like they're a horrible team.
Right.
But this year, it's just not making sense. Something is off even more so this year that's causing issues.
Well, so on the defensive side, okay, you were without Micah Parsons, which, yes, I mean, he's a phenomenal talent. But also, he's not the only player on your defense. So, I don't think that all 47 points could be attributed to the fact that he wasn't there. But I would say 98% of your budget could be attributed to your offense that did not show up.
I think so. Dak had some good plays in the first half. Mm-hmm. It wasn't embarrassing, but they can't convert on third. Like, every time you get to the red zone, you crap out. I don't understand what that is. If it's like a nerves thing, if it's a pressure thing, I'm not totally sure. But I am in the camp. I don't think firing your coach is going to fix this.
No.
To be
I don't
honest,
either, because I don't think McCarthy's really making a lot of the decisions.
no. But that's been how the Cowboys are. I think that as long as Jerry Jones is as involved in the day-to-day as he is, you could fire McCarthy and hire the best coach in the league. You're going to have the exact same problems.
Yeah.
How many NFL teams do you know that A, their owners are giving media chats right after the game, and B, the Jones family walked in front of all the Cowboys to walk into the locker room?
Yeah. Like the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen people say, "Oh, I bet Bill fires McCarthy and goes and gets that Jerry fires McCarthy and goes and gets Bill Belichick." There is no way in hell Bill Belichick is going to work for Jerry Jones, especially after the beef he had with Kraft. There's no way, because he's not near as involved as Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a Jones family issue, 100%. Also, who is our running back for the Cowboys? Because you went and got Ezekiel Elliott back, and out of the first 6 weeks of the games this year, he has averaged less than 20 yards per game.
Yeah, see, but here's what you did. This is what you decided. You decided to pay CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott a bacoodle of money and let Tony Pollard go to Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm grateful because I have Pollard on one of my fantasy teams. It's working out real great for me. Not so great for you for the Cowboys.
CeeDee Lamb is definitely a problem.
What's that guy's name? Dowdle? Dowdle?
I think so.
He's terrible, whatever his name is.
I think CeeDee Lamb is there. He's their Jamar Chase, their Stephon Diggs. Mm-hmm. He's your problem.
Toxic. Yep.
If you've got a receiver that thinks that he needs to be the one that gets every single play, all he cares about are his stats, what he looks like, and he doesn't care about the team, and he's constantly speaking down to your quarterback, what kind of culture are you building?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah. If I was a Cowboys fan, which I'm not anymore, I was as a kid. Oh, I feel for you. But let's make some predictions for this coming week.
Okay.
We did pretty well this week-ish.
I always do much better on the NFL than I do for college.
Well, that's because
and watch this week be horrible.
We are not to that train wreck yet. Okay. So the Broncos are playing the Saints. Now the Saints started out the season looking great. Mm-hmm. Bombed out and depleted as well, but they are playing Spencer Rattler now, who I like. We'll see. I think it's early. But they are real banged up now. It sounds like Alvin Kamara broke his hand.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No. Great.
But the Broncos have Bo Nix. The game is in New Orleans. But I'm going to have to go with the Broncos this time.
Okay. I'm going to go Saints.
Okay. I like it when we differ. So
I know. I think.
What is your motivating factor, though? Because I need to know.
For me, the Broncos are still kind of up and down, and I don't know how well Bo Nix does against a really good defense. And the Saints do have a fairly good defense.
Okay.
So I think that could pose a potential issue for him. I think Spencer Rattler, although he only scored in the second quarter yesterday, he did well. He did well for that. So I think home crowd might help him. He got maybe his jitters out this week. So I'm going to go New Orleans for this.
Okay. I like it. I have the Chiefs and 49ers on the list. Like, listen, obviously we know we want the Chiefs to win, and we're going to bank on that. But I'm going to say if we win, Patrick is going to have to show up. We're going to have to stop the interceptions. He's going to need to play a near flawless game.
Yeah. Listen, I just always say we never go against the Chiefs. I don't want to give any more reasons and jinx any of this. So never go against the Chiefs.
It's going to be a heck of a game, though. Texans versus the Packers at Green Bay.
This, I think, is going to be a really good game.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm actually going to go Packers on this.
Okay, because I'm going Texans.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Listen, Jordan Love has come back with a fire.
Yeah. And it's Green Bay. I know that's what's tripping me up, but
Yeah.
I love CJ Stroud.
I know, see, and it's tough, which is why I think it's going to be a really good game, is because CJ is doing really well this year. So I think this will be the one to watch if you just want to see a really good football game.
I'm wondering, well, I'm telling you, Nico Collins being on the IR hurts real bad. Tank came back a little for me this week because, I've got him.
Yes,
not as much as I thought he would. Stefan's having a pretty good season so far. And Joe Mixon, I don't know why the Bengals gave him up. That was stupid. But yeah, I'm going to go Texans just for CJ, but I won't be shocked.
Okay.
Now this next one, I don't even know. And the fact that I'm tripped up over this, it just blows my mind. Eagles versus the Giants.
Same.
This 4 months ago was a no-brainer to me. All the talent, I gotta tell you, I don't know. Daniel Jones didn't look bad yesterday.
Well, he didn't look good, but
he didn't look good. I didn't get carried away. I
think there's enough other quarterbacks in the league that you're like, what are we doing? That Daniel Jones is like, thank you, finally, a little bit of pressure off.
Yeah.
I'm going Eagles, and my literal notes on this are because they have the roster.
Okay, well, I'm going Eagles because this is Saquon's trip back to New York.
Okay.
I'm saying he's going to want to shove that ball down their throats so far that they never can find it. I truly believe that there's some massive bitterness there.
Yeah.
We're just going to need him to stay healthy. Don't run so hard we get hurt.
Right.
And that's a problem sometimes with him, so we'll see.
Listen, I just want to watch it. I am just enjoying watching a train wreck this year.
Exactly.
Because it's one that you didn't think the train was about to come on.
No, I said, how many times in the offseason did I say, with this roster, how can they not win?
Yeah. We thought they were going to have it together this year. Last year, you figured out your flaws. This year, we're good.
It was a disaster.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Speaking of things that haven't been so great, how'd your fantasy team do this week? I haven't even looked, to be fair, how yours did. So
I'm going to tell you something. So it was Ryder's birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. I was not projected to win this week. I was not expecting to win this week. And then yesterday with his birthday, I just didn't even pull up my app. I didn't switch out any players or anything. Yeah. So I had one player that was out.
Yeah.
So I didn't even, I saw that. And then I had another player that showed out, and then he switched to questionable, and then he was my worst one anyway.
Yeah, that happened.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to win, so I'm not even paying attention. Listen, Team Turner. Team Turner.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend, Megan, who was 5-0. You took her down.
And I don't really know how, because this was deplorable. She had some players really crap out on her.
Well, I was going to say, so in looking at this, now she started Gino, but her backup is Herbert, so who would have scored more, but only by a point. Now, Zach Moss for the Bengals, again, I don't know why they got rid of Joe Mixon, because this dude can't do anything, and he fumbled, so that screwed her.
Yeah.
But you did have the Detroit defense, which clearly had a day.
That's what saved me.
They clearly had a day.
That was what saved me. So when I checked last night, because I was watching, and so then I was like, oh, I might win. So then I am rooting against, because I thought, well, Jamar Chase is her last chance to beat me.
Which, I mean,
please don't throw to him.
He did okay. But your quarterback play, so you played Baker, and he had 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions at 25.9.
Yes.
You had Jordan Love, who threw 4 touchdowns and an interception for 25.6. So, I mean, you were good either way. I'm going to need you to go ahead and drop Rashee Rice, though. You can't.
I know.
He's done.
It's painful.
Honestly, in our league, because we have 487 teams, there's nobody to go get.
No, there's not. I keep checking.
Yeah, so this week I put a whopping on my friend Stephanie.
Hey.
Lamar Jackson did pretty decent for me. He got me 18 points. But let me tell you who went off. Najee Harris.
Okay.
He got me 20 points. Thank you, sir. Devontae got me 15. J.K. Dobbins got me 18. Tank Dell got me a touchdown for 18. Laporta finally scored.
Listen, you were having a good day.
And then I had the Pittsburgh defense, and they got 14. And my little kicker, he got me 14.
Okay.
I've never even heard of the guy. So all in all, it was a great week in our league for me. And that, let me check my other leagues. Lost in that one. Of course. Wait a minute.
I'm just glad I pulled out a win because I'm just not expecting to win any of these weeks.
And in my other one, holy bananas. Now here's a good one. So, I've got my 2 leagues with Taylor Nation. One, I have never won a game. Now this one though, I've got 97.2 points, and I still have the Jets kicker tonight. The person I'm playing has 97.8 points, and they have Dalton Kincaid to play tonight.
Okay.
That could be you never know.
You never know.
That's my team that I have Brandon Ayuk. He got me 4 points. Just for the point of reference. Hope that was worth all the money we spent on him.
Yeah. Not great. Not great.
This next week, I don't even know who I'm projected to play, but
I don't either.
I'm proud of you. You got to win.
I know. I'm 3-3 now. So there we go.
Let me check our league standings here. That'll make me 4-2.
I'm not on a losing record.
That's going to bump Megan to 5-1. So thank you for that. That's helping me out. So
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Do you want to talk about some college football?
I would love to talk about some college football.
So Penn State USC. I went with USC because I have that weird little place in my heart, and it was a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Went into overtime. I feel like there was a lot of overtime games this weekend.
There were. I picked Penn State, and I did get that one right.
Noticed that you had to get that out real quick.
I did. You were going to keep going, and I needed to.
Okay, got it. Penn State won 33-30. This guy Tyler Warren tied the college record as tight ends with 17 catches. Never heard of him.
Go for you.
In the last 3 minutes of the game changed leaders 3 times in the last 20 minutes. I mean, it was like
stressful.
But here's a fact, and I have got to text my friend Stephanie, who I did beat in fantasy football. I did not know this. USC has not beaten a top 5 team since January of 2017.
Okay, now I did not realize that.
That feels crazy to me.
Yeah, because they've been good.
Yeah, that's what I know. I'm going to have to fact check, but that's what I found.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the news. Penn State won, even with their quarterback throwing 3 interceptions in LA. So there was that. So you got that one. Texas, Oklahoma.
Listen, now I called that Texas was going to win, and I was right. But I had said it's going to be a real close game, guys. It was not.
No, 34-3. Quinn Ewers was back. I was a little nervous at the beginning because he got sacked on the very first play.
Yeah.
And then he threw an interception the first time he threw the ball. And I thought, well, it is time for Arch to come back out. But he came through.
Yeah, that was crazy that I really thought Oklahoma would do something.
Yeah, OU, this was the first time a freshman has ever started against Texas, and he got sacked 5 times. But I will say, in his defense, too, they had 5 receivers out for the game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
So, I mean, like, even if he wasn't 15 years old, like, it wasn't looking good anyway. I'm telling you, though, and as much as it pains my ever-loving soul, Texas looks really good.
They look real good this year.
Like, on every aspect of the game.
They're just very consistent. They all seem to be on the same page. Like, they've got it down.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, I cannot wait for this weekend when they play Georgia, though.
Look, that is going to be a game to watch.
That is going to be insane, and it's at Texas.
Yep.
So we'll get to predictions in a minute, but I'm excited for that one. All right, let's talk about Ole Miss and LSU. Because I feel like
I did not watch this game.
I did. And I feel like I jinxed Jackson Dart.
He looked done at the post-game press conference like he had just
Yeah, it's on me.
It's a pick me up. Yeah.
It's on me because remember I said he was my pick for the Heisman.
Yeah.
I can't even say it with a straight face now because I'm like, he's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad game. But honestly, LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, he threw 2 interceptions, but he did throw 3 touchdowns, 2 of which came on his last 2 snaps of the game. So
that'll do it.
That helps.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jackson, he threw an interception, he fumbled once, but he also got sacked 6 times.
I mean, I would have to imagine as a quarterback, when you're having to see the whole field as fast as you're having to see it, but then also be like, crap, my O-line can't hold for me.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, the whole thing is just, I don't get it though. I just don't get it. In the SEC, to have an offensive line that can't hold, I just don't get it.
Seems weird.
Seems weird. Seems to be something like we're known for. So like, what are we doing, Lane? Like, what's happening?
No, I definitely didn't call that right because I think I had said Ole Miss would take this one, and
deplorable. No. Now for the record, before the game even really got kicked off, I got a text from Becca that she wanted to go on record. So I'm publicly saying that she was going for Oregon, and it paid off.
It did.
Oregon won 32-31.
Whew, that was such a good game.
So good.
Like, good game. I think, last week I had said, Oregon, I can't stand. And then College Game Day gets me.
Yeah. Got her in her feels. She was right in her tears. She was in.
So I switched to Oregon, and I'm real glad I did. But that was a heck of a game to watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, first off, Oregon's all black uniform.
Oh, always.
Loved it.
Well, they're like in cahoots with Nike. And so they always have like the sweetest uniforms, like just so epic. But those were sharp. Those were really sharp.
Yeah, we did have their wide receiver, Trayshawn Holden, like at the beginning of the game, spits on one of the Ohio players and gets ejected. What? Why are we doing that crap?
Like, here's the thing, okay? I hate Ohio State.
Yeah.
And there are people in my life that I know personally that I just really don't have a lot of goodwill towards. I still cannot fathom actually like hawking something up and spitting on someone.
Listen, just be really good at trash talk.
Talk
about their mama. Talk about their dog.
Hit you. Like, I could hit you. And if I'm in a football game, I'm going to find a way to like elbow you or knee you. But spit? Like,
take care of your business at the bottom of a dog pile.
Yeah, don't stand up and spit in somebody's face. That's just weird.
And you're one of the best players. Like, you did that to your team.
Yeah, that whole thing, I was like, what are we doing? That's gross. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
I do have a stat from this game that I really enjoy, though. I cannot stand Ryan Day, the coach of Ohio State. He's as disgusting to me as the team. And also, can we calm down with the hair dye on the beard? It is thick, but I have a fact for you. Ohio State's coach Ryan Day is 1-7 against teams ranked in the top 5.
Dang.
Now listen, if I'm like Sam Pittman coaching the Razorbacks and I'm 1-7 against the top 5, like that's actually really good.
Right, makes sense.
But if I am at the Ohio State, how do I have the job still? I don't understand. Like,
no. And their clock management and paying attention to things was just not there.
Did your heart break a little bit for the quarterback when he slid at the end and you were like, son, get up?
It really did, because I was like, Oregon knew exactly what they were doing. And
did you see his face? Like,
yes.
He slid and he held the ball and he just looked up and he thought, I am a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, he had to have thought that.
Because listen, a game should never come down to the very last play.
Nope.
But when it does, and you're the reason that your team didn't even get a
slide in the middle of the field. What are we doing? Right when he was running, I was like, go to the side. Go to the side. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then he starts going. I was like, don't go down.
No.
It was so slow motion. I was like, no.
Even Oregon was like, what are you doing?
It had to be the same feeling that Patrick had in the overtime coin toss when the 49ers elected incorrectly and gave the Chiefs the ball. Yes. You saw his face where even not the brightest crowd in the box, he was kind of like, what? That had to be what Oregon was thinking. But yeah, like as that poor kid was running, I was like, go towards the side, get out of bounds. And then he just
no.
I was like,
you felt the end of the game, that pressure. We don't have much time. We've got to score here. It got to him. And again, you feel bad. These are freaking kids. But
I mean, they are. But I think even my 8-year-old would have known to go to the sideline. Like,
like pay attention to the clock.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah. But that was a fantastic game to watch.
It was really, really good. You want to talk about a game that wasn't so great? I don't know if you want to talk about it, but we're going to anyway. Alabama won this weekend, but can I go ahead and say barely?
I don't know how we're pulling out some of these wins.
27-25. And please don't be confused that they were playing like a top tier team. They were playing the South Carolina Gamecocks.
I'm going to tell you, on the first couple drives of the game, I thought, okay, we're back.
Sure you did.
We're great. And then it was almost like they thought, well, that was it. We just got to score once and we can go home.
And listen, Jalen Milroe is growing on me. He did throw a touchdown and he ran 2 in, but he also got 2 interceptions and an intentional grounding call.
Yeah, here's the thing. We know that Jalen Milroe is a big Jalen Hurts fan.
Okay.
Listen, be a fan. Be a fan. Yeah. Let's not mimic him, sir. Let's not mimic the interception.
Yeah.
Every time you just start running. Please don't be Jalen.
No.
We see what's happening. Please don't do this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have not really followed South Carolina ever. Yeah. Their defense, lights out impressive.
You know, I've got beef with South Carolina because they stole little Rocket Sanders from the Razorbacks, which I still don't understand. But I mean, they're not bad, right? But it's still, you're still Alabama. Like, I'm giving the side eye. I just am.
I think that there's a lack of leadership, not just from the head coach, but I think there's a huge lack of discipline. And I think going into this season, none of us knew what it was going to look like because Saban had retired. You have a new head coach coming in. Honestly, we kind of all expected this to be a blah year.
Yeah.
But I think where we're seeing that, yes, you can still play the game. I think that what we didn't expect was in the locker room, the leadership and the accountability and the discipline. Saban was on top of that. That was his priority, to make sure we don't talk trash to players. We're not all over social media. We're not feeding into the hype. Just play the game and keep your head down. And I think without that daily reminder, some of these kids are now trying to have to navigate this area to figure out kind of what their thoughts are on it. And I think that's where we're starting to see a little bit of the struggle that we didn't anticipate seeing a struggle in.
Well, and I mean, like, listen, Saban lost some games at Alabama. It's not like he was undefeated his whole career. But one thing, even as an anti-Alabama person, I can say is they were never sloppy.
Right.
In behavior and in play, and they're sloppy.
Yes.
Everything. Jalen was sloppy. All of that was sloppy. I think the coaching press conferences are sloppy. Like, it's just, I'm not happy if I'm a booster is what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that the leash will be very short in Tuscaloosa. So
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Now Tennessee played Florida, another overtime game. Listen, I don't know if my Razorbacks just knocked the morale out of Tennessee. I don't know what's going on because they ended up winning 23-17. Dylan Sampson scored 3 times, but not a good game. And you had to go to overtime against Florida?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, I think we had picked Tennessee was going to be the team to watch this year, and maybe we picked for the wrong.
Is it us? Are we the problem?
I don't know.
I'm beginning to think we might be the problem, which means we should probably not be Chiefs fans anymore. I don't know.
Like, we don't really predict and give too much why behind why we pick the Chiefs. We just always pick the Chiefs. That's our team.
Kind of unspoken. Yeah. I'll tell you something that I'm I'm glad we're here to talk about it now. The Georgia-Mississippi State game.
Why was that so close?
What is happening? 41-31. Carson Beck threw 400, or he had a 459-yard game, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's a lot of offense for one person. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about is what in the ever-loving hell was Kirby Smart doing when he shoved the Mississippi player on his sideline?
Listen, if he is not fined or something for that behavior,
I want to hear immediately from the SEC about this.
I think that, listen, your culture starts top down. We've already said there's some issues going on because we got Georgia players having parole officers basically having to sit on the bench with them this season.
I mean, half of them have the little police bands on their ankles. I mean,
yeah, when you see how Kirby Smart behaved on the sidelines to a kid,
and college does not strike me as, that's not the Kirby who I thought Kirby Smart was.
No, not even at all. So I don't understand. I get when you're upset. Your team is not playing to the level that they should be. I get that. But you have to control your actions.
Yeah.
The team is watching you. They're playing off of what you're putting down for them.
To be honest, the fact that it's noon on Monday and we still haven't heard anything from the SEC doesn't bode well.
About it, those clips are all over
everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a horrible look. I think Georgia's just a disappointment in general with because again, these are kids. And so like we're basically condoning their behavior because they're not suspended. I mean, they get arrested and they're still playing the next weekend. And then your coach is doing that. Like, I don't know. I'm just disappointed, really.
Yes. Yeah. I will say, so we didn't, this is not in the notes, but did you watch the Colorado?
Oh, yeah. I meant to put that in there because I knew you would say something about it.
K-State game. Did you watch any of that?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch part of it. Yeah.
It was, and I think it's because I did not have a dog in the fight. I don't like Colorado. As a Mizzou fan, we hate K-State as well.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a good football game.
It was close. I mean, K-State is ranked.
Yeah.
They're in the top 3.
That was impressive. I have not watched him really at all. It was a little weird that when he was on the bike on the sidelines, he was taking selfies with fans. That caught me a little off guard.
Seemed odd.
Yeah. But we did have some injuries. He did throw at one point and then he grabbed his side.
Yeah.
It wasn't from a hit or anything. It was just how he went to the medical tent and he was back. Lots of injuries. Travis Hunter was out. Jimmy Horn was out for Colorado. Yeah. Both of them got banged up. I haven't looked, but I don't know if it was just a tweak and they'll be back next week. I'm not totally sure. But that was a fantastic game to watch. Yeah,
I saw where Dion was criticizing Shiloh's defensive play, which he did play pretty bad.
That was rough.
You know, it's interesting to see that Travis Hunter is hurt again. Now, I will say last year's injury, I mean, that was like a really serious, wasn't it like a lacerated spleen or something?
Yes.
That was severe and random and weird.
Right.
But I will say 2 seasons in a row hurt again, depending on what this injury is.
Something with his shoulder.
And that just, to me, I mean, obviously playing both ways in college football is insane. So the fact that he can even do it's crazy. But, NFL teams are going to worry about your body.
I was going to say, this is to be expected. When you're out there almost every single snap, I'm expecting you to get hurt a lot.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what that says about his NFL career and what team. I don't believe an NFL team is going to pick up Travis Hunter to be a two-way player.
No.
And I think based on his build, they're probably, in my opinion, they would look at him on the defensive side. But like your body's got to be able to hold up, and they're going to be worried about how much damage all these years in college playing both ways is done, especially when you've got verified injuries now. So I don't know. That'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah. But it was good to see K-State pull out that win.
I don't hate that. I did see like half the NBA was on the sidelines. So random.
Listen, but we've got so many celebrities and camera crews and everything. I'm like,
so much. At one point, and yet kids are still transferring out of Colorado. Like they still don't want to be there. So
the sideshow isn't worth it after a little while. It's fun. It looks fun at the beginning, but then you're over it. I would be so tired as a player when I'm just trying to get good at my craft and I've got a camera in my face and I've got a coach that really only cares about 3 players going into the draft this next year.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, I don't know. Would you like to predict some college games? Because we're real good at that.
Why not? Why not?
So the LSU Tigers are coming to Fayetteville to play the Razorbacks.
Yes.
What are you going to say?
I'm actually going Arkansas.
Really?
I think this is a trap game for LSU.
Okay.
I'm going to go Arkansas for this one.
I'm going to go Arkansas because it's at home.
Yeah.
And asterisk as long as Taylor Green is healthy. It sounds
True.
like I think he is or he will be. But if not, I'm not saying it then. But golly, I would love to see it happen. It would just be epic.
Yeah.
Okay. Alabama at Tennessee.
Listen, my notes are I'm never going against Alabama, but I'm scared.
Okay. All right.
Because Tennessee has really struggled after they got beat by Arkansas and barely with Florida. I'm a little worried. I need them to still be depressed and have no self-confidence when they're playing us. I don't want them to find themselves before this game.
Well, I'm going to go opposite here because it's in Knoxville. If this was in Tuscaloosa, I think I would have to go with Alabama, but I'm going to say because it's in Knoxville, Josh Heupel's, they're going to find something.
Listen, you might not be wrong.
That could be. It could happen. Whew. I like to call this game affectionately the Big Boo Bowl. Texas A&M will be playing at Mississippi State. I'm going to go A&M.
I also picked A&M for this.
But, I mean, I would be happy for the Mississippi State Bulldogs if they won just because of Sophie Hudson.
Listen, I need us to go watch the game together.
Oh, man, that would be epic.
I just want to sit and watch you watch.
Oh, yeah, that would be so fun. They ought to sell tickets to that. They'd make money.
Seriously. Live stream it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, this next one. Georgia at Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going Texas on this one.
Same, and I feel weird.
It feels weird not picking Georgia for this.
Well, it just feels weird picking Texas in general, but I mean, I think they're legit.
I think it depends on what Georgia team shows up.
Well, got a lot of days to be arrested between now and Saturday.
That is true. But something's going on. Yeah. So I'm going to go Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely helps being in Austin, but Texas, I really think is legit.
Yeah.
So if we are wrong and we have now jinxed you as well, Longhorns, we apologize.
Sorry.
It happens.
It really does.
Would you like to answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions.
Okay, so this first question is from Jair.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Potentially. Thank you for your question. He said, after Mahomes, who will go down as the second greatest QB of this generation? Also, I get a little confused when we say generations. So I'm kind of like grouping people together in ages. Like I would not say Aaron Rodgers is this generation, right? Like I would say that, not that I would pick him anyway.
Right.
But to me, he's like old generation.
That's fair. That's fair.
I couldn't pick because it depends on one thing for me.
Oh, what is that one thing?
Who wins more Super Bowl rings between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow?
Okay. Joe Burrow was not even on my short list as an option.
Really? Okay. Well, because see, here's the thing. And we've had this conversation before, and I know Aaron and I have this conversation a lot. Can you be considered the GOAT without a Super Bowl ring?
I don't think so. Not in this sport.
See, I don't think so either. So are we going to age out? Because, okay, if I'm saying Josh Allen, Joe Burrow are the same generation as Patrick Mahomes, I am saying that's meaning that CJ Stroud is younger.
Okay. See, for this generation, I went with the younger, the up and coming.
Oh, in that case, I'm going CJ Stroud.
Okay. Okay.
We really need more definition on your questions, people. If you can help us.
Because we think too much into this. So we could get a look. We like to have what your barriers are. We're going to do our own thing, but we at least want to know what you mean.
Yeah, I was thinking you meant like close to Mahomes' age, and so that's why I was thinking Josh or Joe.
See, and I was thinking Mahomes is going to go down in that generation as the greatest, so that knocks all of them out.
Okay, then I'm going CJ Stroud.
Okay, I put Jaden Daniels has some potential here.
Yeah,
or CJ Stroud. I don't think it's a clear cut yet. So those are
because somebody's got to win, right?
Right. Yeah, we've got to see it.
Now, I will say, if Jaden Daniels is able to get the Commanders even to the playoffs, to me, that's an epic turnaround.
Seriously.
That would, to me, be in more of a turnaround than what CJ has done with the Texans.
Yes, I could agree to that.
But for me, still, you got to win a ring. And so that's for me. My dog is having a nightmare. If you hear that, sorry. Okay. Oh crap. I didn't write down an answer for this one because I was really struggling with this. Okay. This is from Kylie. I would love to think it was Kylie Kelsey, but I checked. It's not. But anyway, if you could pick anyone to replace Hoda with Jenna, who would you pick?
So this one's tough because
I really struggled with this.
Yeah. So I think I've got a good one here. So I went Alona Mar.
I don't even know who that is. What?
Yes, you do. She's the rugby player. US.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do. I just was not in that headspace. Yeah. Okay.
I know that one's kind of a left field because that's not her thing. She's an athlete. However, that show, because their 10 o'clock hour has done so well because they just are different. Mm-hmm. I don't need another journalist that's done a desk thing all her life to do that specific thing of what Hoda and Jenna have. You need somebody that's just down to earth, that just has fun, that just can ask different questions that they're just not trained to do. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be really fun for them to pull in just somebody different.
Okay, yeah, that totally came out of left field. I'm still taken aback. Okay, yeah. So I really struggled with this question because I was thinking of them kind of in their current roles. So I was thinking like Hoda's kind of like the older sister vibe on that show, and Jenna's kind of the younger one. So I was kind of thinking like, should I go now? Jenna becomes the older sister, and we get a younger person in with her.
I mean, that's how it was when Kathy left. Hoda stepped up.
Exactly. And so that kind of threw me. Part of me, and I know you won't disagree. I mean, you won't agree. Part of me was kind of thinking Savannah Guthrie because they already have vibes, but I know how you feel about Savannah. Throws me off too.
She's not fun enough.
I don't think the vibe would. I love Savannah Guthrie, but I don't think the vibe is right. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna think about this. I went Carissa Thompson.
That actually is not a bad pick.
Because, so here's some names I toyed with. I thought about Erin Andrews, but I didn't really like it. And I really love what Erin does. And not that I don't like Carissa in the sports world, but I could do without her in the sports world.
Right.
But also, I really like, she brings kind of the fun vibe, but she does her research and all of that. So I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of fun.
I actually enjoy that pick. I think that would be a really fun dynamic.
I had a left field pick of Kristen Bell. And I think it's just because she's been on my mind because of the show, but also I think the fun vibes would be there.
100%.
But maybe 2%.
Yeah. Because you do have to, Jenna can get a little too off there. So you got to have somebody that can bring it back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, I'm kind of sad about Hoda leaving, but it's okay.
I am too. I'm excited for her, but.
Yeah. I think this is Corinne.
I'm going to go Corinne.
I got nothing. I know you both, and this question too gets me. I know you both have mixed / differing feelings on Rep TV, but what / if anything, do you think Taylor will drop or announce on this final leg of the Eras Tour? Any surprises?
Listen, you guys know.
You're just going to say nothing, right?
I mean, if we get anything, maybe a music video to something. Mm-hmm. I don't expect we're getting anything. I think the final leg is our gift. We're not getting Rep TV, guys. Stop.
That's not happening.
No.
Listen, I've seen all the talk of it happening the 18th this week because what was it? Joe Jonas and Shawn Mendes moved their albums.
That's right.
I don't think that has anything to do with Taylor. I actually think Harry Styles is going to announce an album this week.
Okay.
That's just my guess. And I have like nothing that I'm going off of.
Man, the humility that you have to be like, yeah, they're better than me. I'm just going to move my date.
I mean, I can understand why people are surmising it could be Taylor. And hey, listen, if it is, we're going to be elated.
Yeah.
Elated. I just don't think it is. Do I think we will get anything else on this last leg of the Eras Tour? Yes, I do. I think it will be at the end.
What do you think we'll get?
God, Becca, I don't know. Jesus, I go back and forth all the time. I'm assuming she's going to announce Rep TV and it will come out in February. I don't know. I've gotten lost in my feelings. And I think I've kind of gotten to the point now where I just want her to be happy in her personal life. I don't know. Do I think there will be some surprises? I actually do. I think Florence will probably appear at least once this week in Florida because it's Florida. Makes sense.
Right. Why not?
I do think we'll probably have Jack and Aaron at least one more time.
Okay.
Right on stage. And then Gracie, of course, is on tour with her now again, which I love. And I would assume that they will play Us again together.
I do too. I hope they do.
So whatever we get, I'll be happy though.
There you go.
Okay, so this next one from Allie. I love the recastings. Thank you. It's because of me. Can y'all recast one of my all-time favorites, Desperate Housewives? First question, did you watch Desperate Housewives?
I surely did not.
Did not either.
Okay, good.
I mean, I've seen some of it, right? Like I get the general synopsis of each person.
Right.
Now, all the details of their lives, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we have 4 characters.
Yesterday, just to see like which characters and stuff we're doing. And I thought, no, let's just see what happens today.
So we got 4 people. We have Eva Longoria, Terry Hatcher, Marsha Cross, and Felicity Huffman.
Okay. That's who we're doing. Got it.
I feel really, really good about mine. So I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, good. Hold up. I'm highlighting which ones we're doing so that I say the right. I did a few extras.
I don't even know who's extra. Well, I knew there were some men, but like, I don't know who they are.
Yeah. Okay. So for Terry Hatcher's character, Susan Mayer, apparently she's like a klutzy, hopeless romantic trying to figure out single motherhood. I went Mila Kunis.
Oh, yeah. That one. See that. Yeah. I like that.
That's pretty good. For Marsha Cross's character, apparently is like a do-it-all person. I went Janelle Parrish. She is on Pretty Little Liars, and she also is in quite a few Hallmark movies. I think that she would be a really good cast in this. Are you looking her up to see who she is?
Yep. Okay, got it.
For
oh no. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, for Eva Longoria's character, this one I don't know that I love my pick for, but it's who I'm going with. I'm going to go America Ferrera on this one.
Interesting.
Okay.
So did I.
Did you really?
Yes. Sure did. I'll tell you my theory in a minute. So go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. And then Felicity Huffman's character, Lynette, overworked mom, apparently who's always stressed, but she's real tough. I went Kristen Bell to recast for her.
Okay. Interesting.
So, I also recast Nicolette Sheridan's character.
And
I went Hayden Panettiere for her.
She's trying to make a comeback.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Doesn't look the same, but she's trying to make a comeback.
That is true. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I think this was in my head because of New Heights.
Okay.
So what I did was I took the cast of the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants and I put them into roles on Desperate Housewives.
Okay. I'm loving this.
Okay. So Eva Longoria, Gabrielle Solis. I went with America Ferrera.
Okay.
All right. So this is where I don't know what we're going to feel. Marsha Cross. I went Blake Lively.
Okay.
Because I could totally see her playing a Stepford wife.
100%.
Okay. So the next 2 I struggle with. So we have Alexis Bladell, or however you say her name,
Mhm.
Lena from Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, Roy Gilmore, if you will.
Yes.
And then we have Amber Tamblyn Tibby from Traveling Pants.
Yes.
So I went Roy Gilmore for Felicity Huffman.
Okay.
And then Amber Tamblyn for Terry Hatcher.
Okay. Listen, I think for two people that never watched the show,
never saw it. I mean, I may have seen one episode.
You recast it. We did phenomenal.
Listen, I will accept all recasting questions because I'm getting really good at it. So,
and she is getting quite cocky about it.
Yes, anything to build my confidence, I'm in. I feel like this question was directed to Becca because it starts with Becca, but I have an answer as well.
Fantastic.
You did not follow up, Mary, and ask my opinion, but I have one. From Mary, Becca, rude. What character deserves a spinoff from Grey's Anatomy, or which would you like to see, and what would be the plot?
So I appreciate the questions about Grey's Anatomy. Mm-hmm. I will tell you, when it comes to coming up with a plot, that is where Mandy excels. I do not.
Well, I've got a good one.
I am not creative in this. So I will give you my answer, but I think Mandy's probably going to have a
I don't know. I've been nervous what you're going to think of my answer, but go ahead.
Okay. So I think if we're going to do some spinoff characters, I think you would have a really good show and be able to go multiple different ways if you pick Miranda Bailey and then Ben Warren, her husband, on the show.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of move it to where she starts running her clinic and it becomes very successful now that she's out of the hospital. Well, as of right now, she's out of the hospital. And then Ben has left the fire department. And so I think he could even come back and kind of take over the hospital. We're seeing some bigger doctors that are teetering back and forth. So I think he could come back and either take over as chief or take over the interns. I just think you would have a lot of writing that you could play with if we did some spinoff with them. Not super creative, but it's an option.
I love Miranda Bailey, though, even though it's been a solid decade since I watched the show. I just love her. So she will be one that will be interesting to see. You know, a lot of times when these characters get on a show for like decades upon decades, a lot of times like they're not that successful after because you just can't see them in something else.
Right.
And so I worry about that with her.
I think for her, because she's been on this from the get-go.
Yeah.
Listen, you have set yourself up financially. Yeah. And then royalties for reruns, you probably don't have to work. I think for somebody like her, she's going to start probably doing more producing and things that she wants to get into. Maybe do a couple of random type roles.
Yeah.
But I think for people like her, you're right. You're so pigeonholed into what character you played for 20 plus years. But again, finance-wise, if you don't ever want to act again, you're good.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Just, because I can't see her doing something, but
I
you never know till you see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay, let's hear it.
We all know that Becca is the Grey's Anatomy fan, clearly, since you addressed the question simply to her. But I went Alex Karev, which I know he's like not on there now, but there were no stipulations on the question. So here's my plot, though. Okay, he's moved back to what is it, Iowa, Kansas, wherever he is with
wherever. Izzy's character. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going that he is like running the hospital in their small town.
Okay.
And they start to have like financial issues. And he and Izzy have poured all their money into this. And so then he calls on some of the original cast to help chip in financially. But they're all kind of in their own things.
Mm-hmm.
So guess who ends up helping pay to keep the hospital afloat if she can come and be the new chief?
Who? Are you going to go Miranda Bailey?
No. Who is the love triangle with?
No, Joe?
Joe!
Oh my goodness.
Because think about it. Okay. Well, the original people, like Gray and Bailey, they're all like kind of tied into all these other things. Jackson's got his stuff. Everybody's kind of financially tied into other things. Joe's still kind of like flitting around. And she's like, hey, I got to get out of Seattle. This would be the perfect opportunity for me.
But does Link go? She's pregnant now. What are we doing?
I'm just saying, I can't write the whole show.
As a Grace fan,
Yeah.
I don't like Alex at all. He is dead to all of us. And I don't like that idea.
Okay.
However, as a Grace fan, I'm 100% watching that spinoff.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I forgot there was a side note asterisk. He and Izzy are separated because of all the financial woes that it's called strain in the marriage.
I'm telling you, you've got a career in this.
That's what I'm saying. What am I doing with my life? Why am I a project manager? Why?
That's a really good spinoff idea.
Thank you. Just give me a
And
call,
it's
Shonda.
believable. Knowing the character and their backgrounds, that's a believable storyline.
I know. And I haven't even watched it in a decade. Look what I can do. And you didn't even ask, Mary. Just all right.
From here on out, all Grey's Anatomy questions are directed at Mandy.
Yeah. Don't ask about anything current happening, though. I will have no idea. Like when you just said Joe is pregnant, I was like, oh, with who?
Link's the dad.
Are they together?
They're together, but they're not married, and they just kind of officially got together because they've just been back and forth. Are we? Aren't we?
Yikes. Last time I saw it, he was with
yeah, that's been done for a while.
the shepherd. What's her? Amelia.
Amelia. Yeah, that's been done for a long time.
Okay. See. Well, alrighty then. How about some Y Factor?
Do us some Y Factor.
What are you not liking currently?
Okay. So what I'm not liking, last week we had all the like Target Circle days and Walmart whatever days and Prime. Listen, as someone who is a fiscally responsible person shopping,
this is obviously not about me. Okay, continue.
Please don't treat your consumers like we're idiots. So I have a specific item. I have little ears that are not too far from me that individuals are wanting for Christmas. So I'm watching it. Is it, should I get now? Should I get it later?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it was a certain amount on Amazon, and then it had like a $70 off coupon on it that you could add. Okay. So I was like, well, let me see what Prime Day deals is. Well, then they put it at the original price, take a percentage off, and then add like a $7 coupon to then take it down to the price that it was previously. These are not Prime Day deals, guys. And stop treating
a lot of math that just happened.
Like we have no idea what's going on. I don't love it. I don't love it. I'm still going to shop Amazon and still going to buy it, but
okay. I was going to say,
please don't treat me like I'm an idiot.
That was a lot of math. So we had a weird thing happen when we moved. Like I did the mail. Did I already tell you this story about the mail forwarding? Oh, okay. So I did the mail forwarding. This woman is really struggling pushing her baby up the hill. So I did mail forwarding at our old address, and I know that it went through because I got the email, and I even got something in the mail that was like, hey, your mail forwarding went through, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, that worked. Well, I don't know how Aaron found this out the other day, but somehow he found out the other day that like our house is marked as like unable to receive mail.
Oh.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And we get mail, so I wouldn't have surmised that this was an issue.
Right.
But then I did realize that the mail that we get is usually junk or it's like something here. Like we don't have utility bills here because it's all wrapped up into our rent.
Yeah.
And so we're not getting those, but like we've gotten like medical bills or something from here.
Yeah.
Or of course campaign flyers, but we don't get mail. So I think something is wrong, but I'm not telling anyone yet because I don't want to know about something that we owe somewhere that I don't know about.
Right. Just don't tell me.
But I also only realized this because the other day you sent us a picture of the boys looking at the toy thing, and I realized we didn't get it. And so I said, Aaron, we did not get the Amazon thing. He was like, oh, we can't get mail. And I was like, what?
I feel like we should have talked about this.
So I don't know if I should call someone. So if the USPS is watching, I got an issue. I don't know. I don't even know what you do about that.
Okay.
So anyway, we're not having that problem currently because somebody doesn't know that exists.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay. So the thing that I'm not currently liking is Starbucks.
Oh.
And you know that I do enjoy a London Fog latte from Starbucks.
That is your favorite.
That is my favorite. I generally almost have one every single day.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We didn't need the judgmental pointing of fingers.
I didn't mean that to come out judgmental.
That was almost as bad as that first time I tried to do the Britney biopic. No, but Judd likes the brownies from there, okay? And
Okay.
he had a friend stay the night, Saturday night. And so I went to Starbucks to get them brownies for breakfast Sunday, as
Yeah.
you would for the breakfast of champions.
Right.
$14 for 2 brownies.
That feels excessive.
So I am not happy with Starbucks right now due to the cost of everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen,
how much does it really cost you to make a brownie?
it's got to be like $1.25.
So, yeah, $14 for 2 brownies.
I mean, good business on them.
I
Just
mean,
as someone who I don't ever like to leave my house. So
Right.
the fact that you do this every day, that's what got me.
well, I mean, it's like 3 blocks from here. Like if it was a far stretch, I wouldn't do that. But and also, like, I mean, I've told you Aaron bought all the supplies to make the London Fog Latte. They don't taste the same. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
They're fine. I had one this morning made from home. It's fine. Okay, what is the thing you're liking?
Listen, this one, it's a weird thing. It's just,
boy.
but it's where I am in life right now.
Okay.
I'm in the process of updating all my underwear. It's just where we are.
Okay. Glad I always mark this as not PG-13. Okay, go ahead.
I'll keep it
I
clean.
thought you had that one brand from Amazon that you were obsessed
I
with.
did, and I
Oh.
really like those.
Okay.
But you have to have like a couple of variety types. Like those are really good
Yeah.
for every day or with jeans. But like if I'm wearing leggings, I'm not the person that's going to go without. That's just not me after children
no.
matters and all of that.
It's a weird vibe.
I'm always going to have some on. So I like some that for sure aren't going to have painting lines when you're wearing leggings or something.
Mhm. Okay.
You know, there is a brand at Walmart that I have discovered, and it was literally like we were out of town. I didn't pack enough, or I don't remember what the case was, but I needed to go grab a pair of underwear. So I was like, let me just run in here. There's a brand called Kindly Yours at Walmart.
Mhm.
It is my new favorite.
Really?
It is. They have bras. I have not tried bras, but for their underwear, I will be going back and buying more. It was fantastic. They're paying me $0 for the sponsorship.
I tell you, but hey, we are willing to take on any sponsorship.
That is
What
right.
is it good? But I have been needing. I think what are we at now? Probably about 11 months. I've needed to do the same, and I still never even took the plunge to get your Amazon
I don't know
recommendation.
why that is the hardest thing for
Yeah.
women to do.
It feels like a waste of money, but it's something I wear every day.
Listen, when I was going through my underwear drawer and I pulled out a pair of maternity underwears that I'm pretty sure I still currently wear, and my youngest is 8. I was like, Rebecca, you really got to pull it together.
Yeah. I finally threw away when we moved. So we moved in May. I didn't throw away. I donated my maternity leggings. They were just so cozy.
Yeah.
And just like 8.5. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Well, I don't know because we haven't talked about the weather in a bit with you guys. So if I am pouring salt in a wound, I'm sorry. But
Fine.
it's going to be like in the 30s and 40s here this week. Your girl's wearing a fleece pullover, and it is my favorite season of the year.
It isn't the best.
Yeah, it just makes me happy. It just does.
It does. It makes everything in life feel like everything's going to be okay.
This morning, speaking of underwear, I said, Aaron, can you go downstairs to the dryer and get out the basket of laundry because I needed a sports bra?
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, whatever. He goes down and gets a basket, narrow sports bra in there. And he was like, but you have all those bras hanging on the back of the door. And I was like, oh, but that like will show under my sports, my tankini kind of shirt. And he goes, are you planning to take the pullover off? I was like, listen,
minor details, sir.
No one asked for your opinion. So I had to wear a real bra. But anyway, but I'm just super happy because
I love that.
cold weather. Judd has a friend that's having a birthday party this Friday night, and they're going to have a fire pit. God, nothing screams my language more.
Listen, if you invite me somewhere, first off, I appreciate it because I love being invited. But second off, I'm probably not coming because again, I don't enjoy it. But if there is a hayride or a fire pit involved, 100% your girl is there.
Now, I'm not as keen on the hayride. I don't like to be poked.
It's just part of the season.
God, but a fire pit with chairs lined around it. I'm not a big s'more person because I don't like marshmallows. I don't need any of that. I just want to sit around and talk.
It's not. Yes. The best conversations happen around fire pits.
You know, when my best friend got married, she got married in November. I don't know what, like 11, 12 years ago now. They did like a kind of a small, just a friend only thing. And then they did a huge party. But the night after, So that they were like going on their honeymoon late or whatever. They had all of our friends over to their massive house and had this huge fire pit.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, to me, like you couldn't have made it better. Like,
no. You don't have
it's
to do
like
anything
my
else.
favorite memories of 2 decades of friendship.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
I'm just excited for it.
I mean, we're currently in the 90s here in San
Oh,
Antonio.
I was going to ask. God bless.
Yeah. But tomorrow we are supposed to get a cold front tomorrow night, so it is supposed to drop down to the low 80s. So that's fall for us. I'll take it.
Wow. A friend of mine is coming to San Antonio in March of this next year for a conference, and he was like, "Hey, you want to go with me?" I was like, "Oh, I'd love to go see Becca. I wish you were going somewhere that it was like beach weather." And he was like, "Oh, it'll be hot enough."
Basically.
I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
Yeah. So,
all right. Well, anything else for the fans?
listen, we've covered a lot today, you guys.
I always think we don't have enough, and then here we are. Hour and 25 minutes.
We can talk about anything.
Well, we will be back next week celebrating a Chiefs win in San Francisco and maybe Rep TV. Gosh, I don't know. The opportunities are endless.
Who even knows? Or we'll come out and say, guess what? Nothing happened.
You're wrong. All right. Well, thanks for listening, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
I just